ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode with The Locker Room. As always, my name is Taylor Lewan. I'm a part of the show. The future commissioner of college football, Josh Pate, he was here. He hit a massive milestone on his YouTube account. We'll get into that during the show. And then finally, the one, the only, Will Compton. He is with us. CFP, Conference Championship Weekend. It is a beautiful time to be alive. The college football playoff bracket, it's all over the place. There's about 3 teams that are sitting on the outside looking in. We're thinking to ourselves, do they need to be in, not out? And maybe these teams, why are we doing G5s? I don't know. But Championship Weekend, this is what we're going to go over. North Texas, Tulane. Biggest storyline coming out of that. Both teams do not have their head coach. Duke, Virginia. Everyone and their mother who loves chaos is focused on Duke. BYU versus Texas Tech. We saw this a couple weeks ago. It'll probably be the same result, but you'll find out as Josh Pate breaks it down. Alabama versus Georgia, the SEC Championship. A lot of people are wondering, why does it matter with the new playoff bracket? We're going to get into that. A lot of juicy, good information, and a special thing happening during that game. Stay tuned for that. Indiana, Ohio State, 1 and 2 for the Big Ten Championship. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Let's look at the records from last week. Myself, 3 and 2. Josh Pate, 3 and 2. Will Compton, 4 and 1 on the day. He's making himself a little jump as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. Right now, I'm sitting at 500. The boys are sitting just below that. Rapid fire results this week. I'll let you take a look for yourself. Let's have a hell of a show. And by the way, do me a favor. If you're tuning into this, if you're a Josh Pate fan, a Will Compton fan, a Taylor Lewan fan, or I don't know, Garrett Hargis fan, do me a favor and subscribe to this show. We need it more than ever. It's free for you and it helps us a whole bunch. Big hugs, tiny kisses. All right, The Locker Room is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Before we get into things, we just want to remind you that gambling is for entertainment, and FanDuel always has your back with tons of responsible gaming tools to make sure your play stays fun and stress-free. Check out FanDuel.com/RG or the responsible gaming section in the app to learn more about staying in control of your game.
We've got a conference championship weekend ahead of us, but before we dive in, let's talk about the Bussin With The Boys Profit Boost Token.
That's right, Will. It's a beautiful time to be alive. We, of course, got some great games this weekend. Think you know how a few of them are going to play out. Parlay your picks together and boost your odds. We'll get a juicy payday. You'll get a juicier payout as you ride out the slate.
We've had a week's worth of examples of people hitting big on these parlays with the boost, and we've got one here to share with you.
We're talking 19-leg parlay, boys. 19 legs. And I don't know how our group chat can't figure this out. 19 legs. This person had plus 12,314 odds, and the total payout was $62,068.90.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Why don't we do that?
Hey,
we got a lot of big brains here.
Why not this weekend?
Why not this
weekend? Visit FanDuel.com/Bussin to download the app and start cooking up your parlay today. Gentlemen, before we get started, Taylor, a big reason that we started Bussin With The Boys is to bring the locker room to life.
Yep.
To celebrate our boys, to
Absolutely.
show, get interviews of guys where you usually have the helmet on and you're not really getting to tell your story. People don't really get to know you like that unless it's in the locker room with the camera in your face and the microphone where you're not going to give bits of information.
You're not showing a whole lot of personality because you have the veil of football in front of your face.
You allow the player and the people we have on the bus to kind of control their story and find ways to celebrate them and their success. We have somebody very close to us who hit a massive milestone last night, live in front of the world. And it was Josh Pate with the goal of getting to 500K subscribers. He hit it live last night during his show, and we have found a way to celebrate the boy. Bring out the balloons. Bring out the balloons.
Look at that. Oh. That is special, man. That kind of says 500K.
That's amazing.
Dude.
Possibly the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
The I Do balloon is hilarious.
And is this lead-based paint anchoring the balloons?
Has to be.
It's lead.
We know you're an old school guy, Pate. That's why we did lead-based paint.
There's a couple of zeros in there. The 500K.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because that's
It's in
just
there
50,
somewhere.
which you still respect it, but 500 a little bit better. Hey, hoops to the thunk it.
Hoops to the thunk it.
Very quickly, I was told to pass along the message that the ring, the I do, is you accepting the role of commissioner of college football.
So that's official now.
It's official.
Yeah, it's official.
We have the power on this show.
We have the power on
We
this
don't
show.
have the power on the show. You have the pow on the show.
Hey, we have the power.
We, because we are your right-hand men, right and left-hand men, also have the power on the show.
That's what the foxhole's all about.
You come in, you go do as you
Yes.
please.
It's
But as long as you're in it at the right time, you're the guy.
I tell you what, it's starting to seep in there a little bit more, Coach McGuire.
Headed to the Big 12 championship game, but what's on his mind? Future commissioner of college football.
Future commissioner of college
Hey,
football.
did you text him about that? Like, how did
No.
he just randomly was in a press conference and was like, let me just shout out Josh Pate.
Yeah,
right
like his SID hit me up and said, Joey just said this, which to me means you guys are just sitting around, between practice out
Right.
there. And he said that. It wasn't until an hour later, one of my buddies said, hey, cool shout out in McGuire's press conference. And I said, say what now? And then I go and watch, and I'm just clapping in my
Yeah.
car at the YMCA. I just took the caffeine water. Elbows are getting a little itchy. Adrenaline's flowing. And so first coach, but probably not the last coach. Like now it's, you don't want to be first, but you don't want to be third. So like who's going to be second? To publicly use their platform to do the responsible thing.
Yeah, and the
like
big
Joe
thing
McGuire.
is they're probably going to win the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
So now you have the Big 12 championship winner claiming Josh Pate is the commissioner of college football. Now we need legit just 2 more dominoes to fall. Big 10 and SEC.
That's it.
We get those 2 done, it's
Just
over.
completely dismiss the ACC. Yeah,
I
not even
think
there.
At this point, I mean, based on this college football bracket, right? Are we all kind of dismissing the ACC?
I am.
You were done.
This year.
You denounced the ACC for 2025 season.
I don't denounce. I think the only resume that's worth talking about is Miami's.
But even then, is it worth talking about? Because my whole thing last night.
Did you watch his show last night?
I watched part of it, but my daughter, she was on a swing. She hit the back of her head. It's a whole story.
Wow.
Well, the Lewan clan's not having a good time on half of November.
Because he's on his platform saying Miami has to be in over Notre Dame.
Over Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Now
Sure,
there
yeah.
are photos
Oh
of him.
yeah, Miami beat Notre Dame. So yes, I agree with you.
Careful. It's not that simple. It's
Why
not
not?
as simple as play. Oh, I'm speaking sarcastically. Of course you're right. Because, you play the game on the field and you're thinking to yourself, hey, man, if the resumes are like remotely comparable and we've played, shouldn't I get the edge?
Right.
And then the Notre Dame calculator heads come in and like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's so much more you need to know. And you would sit there and listen to all that. It would take like an hour. And then you would go, well, that just made my head spin. But still, they played on the same field, right? Yes. And
August.
obviously they're comparable because they're ranked right next to each other, right? They would just sit there with their mouth open and you would say, okay, Miami over Notre Dame.
Right.
Really, people overthink the room on this stuff because they have too much time to sit around and think. It really doesn't have to be that complicated. It can be if we didn't play, but if you and I played and then our resumes look similar, like what a disservice to head-to-head results to try and speak over them. Like one of the big talking points, I get it. If I were a Notre Dame fan, I'd be fighting to get my team in. I understand that.
Yeah.
One of the talking points has been, well, yeah, head-to-head does matter. It is a data point, but it's not the only data point. The committee needs to look at everything. They are, but the data points don't have to be weighted equally. Like if I got a head-to-head result and I beat you on the field, and then everything else is kind of shades of gray, the most common sense viewpoint in the world, like my sister could walk in and say, okay, well, let's just put the head-to-head winner over the head-to-head loser. It really is that simple.
Yeah.
That's why she wins the March Madness bracket every year. She doesn't overthink the room. And in this case, you don't have to overthink the room on this. You got a result on the field, and you should honor it.
Well, the way it started is, Notre Dame comes out at 8, Miami's at 18. Like, I'm with you. When Notre Dame started 0-2, you look at the rest of their schedule, and the majority of college football fans is like, Notre Dame's out. There's no way. We all know that they're probably going to sneak in somehow, but there's no way. They start off 0-2 against Miami, who was ranked 8 at the time, and then you lose to
Yep.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, we
who's
talked
in the
about
top- Who's in it again? Collectively 4 points of these two teams.
Yep.
And you're sitting there, and you look at Miami, and you are fired up for Miami because they were a top 3 team at one point, and all Miami has to do is handle their simple ACC schedule.
And could lose a game.
Yes, and could lose 1 game, but they lost 2 games. Like if you look at Miami,
Is it SMU and Louisville? That's who they
Yes.
lost to?
yeah, it's like you go look at Miami, like just go handle your ACC schedule, which is the worst Power 4 conference this year. They played against their when they played cross conference against Big 12 teams. ACC went 1-6 versus Big 12 teams. Like by far and away, the ACC is the worst conference this year of the Power 4. And all you got to do is go handle your ACC schedule. not including a schedule that doesn't include Virginia, nor Duke, who's both in the ACC championship, Georgia Tech, who was like a front runner in the ACC until they kind of pissed down their leg there at the end. But those 3 teams weren't on their schedule. It was SMU, Pitt, and Louisville. And they lost to SMU and Louisville. And their overtime, which one came first? Was it?
It was Louisville
they lost
first,
to Louisville, and then they lost in OT to SMU.
Yeah.
And they lose right there at the end of October or right at the beginning of November to SMU and OT after losing to a very average Louisville team in the ACC, to where when you lost the first one, you went from 3 ranking down to 10. Not that bad of a drop.
Yep.
But then when you lose to SMU, who was 6-3 at the time in the ACC, who lost to Baylor, who had lost to TCU, who had some crossover against other conferences, you lose to SMU, and then you drop to, what was it, like 18,
Yep.
20? Like Notre Dame, after they lost their first 2 weeks, they dropped all the way to 24. And it's not like they were making leapfrogs, bounds up to the top 10. Like incrementally, they climbed throughout the rest of the season because they skunked everybody that they were playing.
And I believe
a heavier ACC schedule.
I believe there was a stat as well. Notre Dame was the first team in the modern era to go start 0-2 and still be in the top 25. Is that a correct stat?
Possibly. I wouldn't
I
know
think
that.
so. I think they started
They dropped,
0-2.
yeah, I believe they
and
dropped all the way to 24.
Yeah, 24.
But again, you look at Miami, who is a good football team. I wanted, like, when Miami started off the way they did, it's like, it would be great. Miami makes this run. But when they get in these moments and Miami becomes Miami and Carson Beck becomes Carson Beck, they lost 2 games in a very average ACC schedule that they should have easily been able to handle. And they hurt themselves doing that, to where then when the college football playoff rankings open up on day 1, and you could say that's where it sucked. That's where it was kind of tough for Miami to get in the conversation. But Miami started at 18 when the CFP rankings came out after, again, their second loss to SMU. So coming off a loss, they get ranked at 18. Notre Dame gets ranked in the top 10. So you're incrementally putting them closer together to where now they can be side by side, but you kind of, the whole system gets messed up if you're sitting there and it's like, you just make a decision, hey, we're going to put Miami in over Notre Dame. Like, I agree Miami has this head-to-head win, but the head-to-head win, the only playoff caliber team Miami has faced is Notre Dame. And it came at the very end of August against a freshman quarterback who had his first career start at home on your home turf in Miami, and you beat him by 3. It came down to the last 3 minutes of the game. So the way Notre Dame's played, the progress that they've made, the way that they've been beating every team by double digits, Carr's clearly gotten better. Offensive line's gotten better. Defense has been much better and opportunistic down the stretch, their back half of the ball. And Jeremiah Love, since that 3rd week, he's looked like this Heisman winner or this Heisman candidate that we all, you betted on to be the Heisman guy before the season. But he is clearly, debatably, arguably the best player in college football. And they have momentum with Marcus Freeman, a coach who, again, they lost to Northern Illinois last year early. But where did they end up at the end of the year? The national championship. So we're sitting here looking at the college football playoffs and who would have the best chance to go get a national title. It's kind of hard for me to say, yeah, Miami should very easily, without a doubt, no debate should be in over Notre Dame, versus because of what Miami did to themselves during the season in an ACC schedule. And the ACC sucks this year.
Yeah, my retort to that is, I would pick Notre Dame to beat Miami today.
I was just
So like, no one needs to convince me they think Notre Dame's the better team.
Favored by 5.5.
Yeah, like I'm telling you,
FanDuel.
this is I'm a guy who believes Miami should be over Notre Dame, and I'm going to grant you several points. The ACC sucks this year. Check. It's inexcusable Miami lost those 2 games. No excuse for it. Check. I think Notre Dame's a better team than Miami. Check. All right, so the first 2 points, those are already baked into my opinion. They were already baked in even going into this weekend or this last night when the rankings were released. You knew the ACC, not you, the committee knew the ACC sucked. The committee knew that Miami had 2 losses. All that's already baked into the pie going into last night, and they're ranked within 1 spot of each other, right? Okay, so that's the current state of affairs. Then the other part of it is, all right, the eyeball test, which I think has carried the day for Notre Dame so far. Like, I truly believe what's happened is they have gotten those people in that room, and there are enough people who just flat out say what all 3 of us just said. Hey, we kind of just think Notre Dame's the better team, to where that's carried the day. That's seesawed heavier than the head-to-head result has seesawed. The difference in me, I think, and a lot of people on that committee is I don't care about the eyeball test. That includes my eyeball test. Because we've done this show every week this year, right? Mm-hmm. Have any of us gone close to perfect?
Yeah.
Have we even
Will
had a,
did last week.
4-1.
You came
Yeah,
close to
you're-
a perfect week last week, but even you went 4-1, right? Which means no one's football acumen, no one's predictive nature is flawless. So if you could ever screw up judging a game predictably, why would I value your eyeball test or my eyeball test when we've got critical data and metrics that we predefine that are on a piece of paper? Now, you're right that they can't play this weekend. Neither of those teams can play this weekend. So look, none of this is logic. We're applying logic to an illogical situation already because that's just the nature of the college football
the
playoff.
structure of the playoff was better.
But I understand someone driving around right now or someone just hanging out and they're watching the show and they're thinking, all right, even having said all that word salad, if both of these teams are ranked where they are, neither of them play this weekend, how could one ever jump the other one? And the answer is it shouldn't happen. The answer, part B, is Miami should have already been ahead of Notre Dame in my opinion. But part C is I think it can still happen because of the ACC doomsday scenario that we have telegraphed on this show for like a month. We've been talking about this as a possibility, but we're here now. 7-5 Duke could win the ACC Saturday.
I hope so.
And if they do, they're not going to the playoff because they won't be one of the 5 highest ranked conference champs. So you'll have the SEC's champ, the Big Ten's champ, the Big 12's champ. You'll get 2 G5s in there. And then it'll just be up to 7 more spots for at-large teams. And I believe if Brigham Young loses that Big 12 championship game, I think they would remove themselves from being the last remaining team between Notre Dame and Miami. And I think that would just put Notre Dame and Miami head-to-head on Selection Sunday. And the committee would have to look at that. If Duke wins the ACC championship game, the committee would have to look at that and say, well, we either put Miami in or we don't put an ACC team in. And I don't really care, like you're right, the ACC's hot garbage. It's terrible this year. This system was not built to lock out Power 4 conferences. It was not built to exclude an entire power conference at the expense of having multiple G5 teams in. Just not the way it was built. It's an ATM and it's built to spit money a certain way. It's unpopular to say, but that's the reality of it. I think that committee could take another hard look at Notre Dame, Miami, given light of that new situation, and at the 11th hour jump Miami. And if you think that's impossible, Hunter Yurachek has largely been a train wreck, the playoff committee chair, when he explains this stuff. But one thing Reese Davis pinned him down on last night is, could idle teams move? Could there be movement between idle teams the final conference championship weekend? And he said yes. They could move. He refused to say that the rankings for teams that aren't playing this weekend are fixed. So they moved Bama up ahead of Notre Dame last night. So Notre Dame got 1 spot closer to Miami. If Brigham Young loses, and they're nearly a 2-touchdown underdog, if they lose, that's the last remaining team between Notre Dame and Miami, at which point on Selection Sunday, those two will be right next to each other. And you're telling me that the head-to-head result with teams that comparable is not going to push Miami over the finish line? I believe it would.
It could. I mean, how much is like money and ratings and all
that doesn't matter.
You don't think
You're
so?
telling me
You
that
don't think
matters?
so? You don't think any of the money matters?
That's a bridge
Keeping
too.
a brand like Notre Dame out of the playoff when they started at 8, like their system.
Yeah.
Their system. Notre Dame started at 8. They've been in the playoff the whole time.
Right.
And you're going to say the way that they've been beating everybody handedly, that they're slowly just going to trickle out and then they're just going to be out of the college football playoff.
Remember this past weekend, it's not like nothing happened this past weekend. Okay, Notre Dame's demolition of Pitt a few weeks ago, that was a really big talking point. Like that really boosted Notre Dame's resume.
Right.
Remember that's a ranked versus
News
ranked.
you didn't care about that game though.
Yeah, dude,
They did not care.
game day's up there. Like that's all well and good. And you go beat them, I think 37-15 or something like that. All right, so the committee really said, man, that's great for Notre Dame, which it was. Miami just went and beat the same Pitt team in the same building by more. I didn't even hear anyone mention it last night. It's almost like it didn't even happen. So I'm not saying that should be.
I mean, you know, Miami has the data. They were up. Like it's like I want to say they were up, and they're still throwing the ball deep in the.
Dude, did
like
you
the
watch
fourth
Notre
quarter,
Dame Stanford?
trying to get this point.
But
They
at this point in the season, you need to make that point.
No
if
doubt.
if you're
No doubt.
Miami on like sitting where they're sitting at.
Yeah, Notre Dame
doubt.
did the same thing against Stanford. They should. You got to run it up. It's not disrespectful to the game. It's respecting the system or acknowledging the system.
I just think it would be bizarre again.
It would.
Notre Dame being ranked 8.
It would.
The way that they've mopped everybody throughout the rest of the year, since these rankings come out weekly, that they've just crept out, and now they're out of the college football.
Yeah,
playoff.
to be inexcusable to try and explain it, because there will be no explanation. And your sin was you probably had Miami too low to begin with. Like bumping them down to
Right.
15 would be okay, because you could still make the argument if Notre Dame's 8 and Miami's 15 on that Tuesday night, you could say The head-to-head doesn't matter yet because they're not close enough. They're not in the same comparative pool. We haven't had the chance to apply the head-to-head. And then when Miami creeps up closer, finally, like the light clicks on, and you're in the same comparative pool, and the head-to-head matters, and that's when Miami jumps Notre Dame. They didn't do that. So if my theory is correct, they're going to have to do it after both of their seasons have already been completed for over a week. And then imagine trying to explain that.
I know. And too, it's like across the college football landscape, fans, players, coaches, everybody. When is the best time to lose? Early in the year.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame, they get collectively 4 points to a good A&M team, a good Miami team.
They have one
and they've done nothing
win.
but take care of business since then. Whereas like I'm rooting for Miami, but you lose those 2 games in the ACC, bro. And then I want to watch both teams like in the college football playoff. I want to believe in the talent and Cristobal, which by the way, Pate's had Cristobal. Like he's tied in. He's tied in with Cristobal.
He's got the
Miami.
numbers. He's got the numbers you need to have to be tied into the Cristobal.
Yeah, I don't see a photo with Freeman post game to where they're kind of talking shop a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like I just think of Coach Freeman, it's like Carlson Beck, like him in the big moment on the big stage. Do we really think Miami's going to do some damage? Based on what we've seen.
Based on his season in the biggest moment on the biggest stage, he actually did answer that question. It's when they went behind the closed doors and they had to play the shitty ACC schedule. They're like, I shit the bed a couple times. Because the biggest game they played was Notre Dame in the beginning of the year, and everyone had the questions of Carson Beck. Was it Carson Beck problem or was Georgia the problem of Carson Beck? And Carson Beck came out there and lit up Notre Dame.
He became the Heisman favorite for a little while.
Yeah, and then those
crazy.
defensive
Then you
ends,
play Louisville,
8 on CJ Carr at the
those
end
4
of it.
picks against Louisville.
Well, hey, so you want to play the game
That's what
the
I'm
committee
saying.
plays.
Will, that's in a different room. That's the lights are off.
Right.
That's like
That's practice field.
right. That's practice
that's not
field
stadium.
stuff. We're talking about the lights are on. It is week 0, week 1, and we're all so excited. And look at this matchup we have. This resurgence of a rivalry between Miami and Notre Dame, and these 2 guys coming out of it. A freshman and Carson Beck, who's trying to resurrect his career. Like last year was a Heisman. I think he was a front runner last year, right?
Yeah.
He comes into Miami and dices up Notre Dame while everybody's watching, and then nobody's watching, and he fucks up. It's like, does that really matter that much? So you put him back on the big stage, and we've already had him on the big stage. Is he not just going to do it again? Because I'm willing to say, I think if we sat here and we went Notre Dame, Miami, if Miami can find their way to get up in a game, those defensive ends eat that offensive line yet again. Because that's not just, hey, the offensive line's gotten better. Look how much better. Look at the talent they've played against.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're going to sleep if you're the left tackle and right tackle, and you're dreaming about those guys. You're like, oh shit, I got to see them again. I thought they were a thing of the past. I thought I'd never have to touch them again. Now all of a sudden you're going to see them on a neutral field where the same shit is going to happen.
Can I also say one thing? All right, the Louisville SMU losses. I don't have to try and defend that to make Miami's case. Like, I think I can bake those losses into the pie and still make the pie presentable enough. People talk about all unranked losses like they're the same thing. Like, you could lose to Akron, who's number 130, or lose to Louisville, who's number 28. People just talk about them like they're the same losses. They're not the same losses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Louisville and SMU are not elite teams. They're not terrible teams. They're just okay teams.
Yeah.
So when you lose to them,
They're the best G5 teams.
Yeah, like it ought to have the impact on your resume that losing to an okay team would have. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, we lost to like ungodly, terrible teams. We were 4 touchdown favorites or anything like that. And the other thing is, what I'm about to say, I don't believe should matter, but the committee uses it all the time. So I could weaponize their logic against them. You want to start talking about specific injuries and what teams were at one point. Well, Isaac Brown, who's the best player on Louisville's team, tailback, was still healthy when they played Miami. Then he got hurt and they fell off down the stretch, which makes their record look worse. They were ranked when Miami played them. Mm-hmm. And they were probably a ranked caliber team when Miami played them. Again, I don't believe in this logic. I'm just saying, since the committee disingenuously uses this kind of logic, I feel free to use it.
So you're saying that the committee used the logic of when these teams played, they were ranked, therefore.
Here's what the committee does. The committee does not actually decide the rankings. A computer does. The committee then slaps their name on it, and they go on TV and like reverse engineer logic to excuse away or explain rankings that they themselves are not responsible for. And the reason I know that to be true is because we're in coaching season right now. So we're in coaching search mode, and Florida and Auburn and LSU and Ole Miss, Penn State, like they've all been wrapped up in this stuff. You can go on Twitter every 10 minutes and hit refresh and get new leaked information about coaching searches,
Isn't it
right?
the best?
And you just sit there and wonder, like, wow, so much of this information comes out, and these athletic directors, they're involved in that process, and all the information leaks, yet you're putting athletic directors in a room to decide the rankings, and no information about the process ever leaks. Do you ever wonder how that's strange? How information from something that should be way more highly classified does leak, like a coaching search, but when it comes to 12 or 13 of you in a room where you're allegedly hot-headedly debating the rankings. Dude on TV last night said, man, the Notre Dame-Alabama debate was intense.
The fourth down.
Oh, dude, it was so intense. Why don't those details ever come out? No details ever come out. It's because they're lying to you, and a computer spits that stuff out, and then they just kind of slap their name on the side of it. And then they have to go on TV and try and explain the rankings process, but they didn't really take part in it. That's how you get this garbage like, well, you know, Alabama, they were up 17-0 at one point versus Auburn. Yeah, but they were also tied at one point versus Auburn later in the game. Yeah, they ran the ball okay. Plus, it's a rivalry game. Boy, that coordinator really made a ballsy call on fourth down. These are not data points. This is just minutia. This is stuff you say. It's like when your mom just was too tired to take you to the park when you were growing up, and she said, Mommy's got a lot of stuff to do tonight. She didn't have anything to do. She just didn't want to take you to the park. She could have just told you, we're not going to the park because I don't feel like it. The committee could just say, these are the rankings because we say these are the rankings. But instead, it's so much stuff that doesn't matter, that shouldn't matter. It's so incongruent logically. You could take whatever he said last night about Alabama, and I could twist that frame of logic to excuse away anything. I could put Texas at number 7 somehow, some way, using the bent logic that Hunter Yurachek, and not just him, but like all of the committee chairs have used in the past. So to say I have a little bit of an issue with the process would be accurate.
Yeah, I think if Miami gets in, just more of a case for the power of the future college football commissioner would be alive and well. Miami all of a sudden gets in, after he releases his clip and stance on Miami getting in over Notre Dame.
Hey, I'm not a Notre Dame should join a conference guy. I don't care what they do.
I agree.
I'd fine with them either way. However, this is one of the first times they may have to pay a price for not being in a conference. If they were in a conference title game Saturday, we're probably in.
Yeah,
because I think Alabama's in regardless because they're playing in a conference title game. Notre Dame would probably be in regardless. Miami would probably have to sit at home because you'd be sitting here talking about Notre Dame earning the right to play in the game. You get that extra data point, like win a conference and you're in, of course. But I think even losing a conference title game, especially a big one like the Big Ten or the SEC, that earns you a little bit of a bump in the committee's mind.
Yeah, I think last year whenever the 12-team playoff came out, it was like, hey, this 5 and 6 slot, that's kind of Notre Dame's forever.
Right.
Because they get to live in this independent world. But one thing you brought up with the committee and using old games when teams were ranked. So like a team played a team that was ranked at that time. Now they're no longer ranked. That's a reason why this team should be bumped up higher. If that is logic that the committee is using, why isn't Vanderbilt in then?
Because they don't apply it evenly.
But because the logic that the committee would have just said, then Vanderbilt has 4 top 25 wins and 1 top 10 win. And they're 10-2.
That's because they selectively apply it.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at the thing last night, and I understand the Miami Notre Dame argument. That's not near as interesting to me as like, why is Vanderbilt sitting behind Texas? And everybody's answer is, well, Texas beat Vanderbilt, but Texas is 9-3.
Right.
Vanderbilt is 10-2 in a conference that you've said is the most stacked middle pack conference of all time, or at this point.
Yeah, I do think the SEC has the most depth.
They have the most depth. They've gone through the SEC. They've won the SEC. They beat Missouri when Missouri was ranked in College Game Day was there. They beat South Carolina when they were 11th in the entire country. At that time, it was going off of the skill players they had coming back and the run they had last year. And so at that point, I think we all viewed South Carolina as a possible contender in the SEC. So why is Vanderbilt being hurt and put at 14 when I think they should be in? And I think it's not so much of the Miami and Notre Dame argument. It's more of like, that's where this G5 thing, I keep coming back to it, and I'm like, these guys.
Yeah, no matter what, I'd love to see all these teams just be in a playoff so you can watch them play.
Because you put Vanderbilt against the Tulane of the North Texas or all these other G5 teams. It's like,
put them in their conference.
Going to mop them.
Just put Vandy in their leagues.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have them head to head. For all I care, put Vandy in the ACC. Like Vandy's running the ACC right now, and they're a top 4 lock.
Top 4. They're undefeated 11-1.
Probably do the same thing in the Big 12. To be honest, this year probably it's them and Texas Tech in the Big 12 by a fairly good margin.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech to me is just there's Texas Tech, and then there's
the rest
a
of the
big
league.
gap, and then everybody else.
The hard part is when you're sitting there arguing like Texas, Vandy. Texas did beat Vandy. Vandy was coming back, but that could have easily been a blowout by Texas. They also lost to Alabama.
But the logic of it could have been a blowout. Like, We're sitting there, and Texas goes out with this big lead. Everyone's like, Vandy cannot come from behind. They're not built that way. The first quarter, there's tweets going out saying, this game is over. That was fun. It was cool it was exciting to talk about Vandy for a little bit. Vandy comes back, and at one point, we're sitting there watching an onside kick for them to kind of recover and be like, yo, they might actually fucking do this.
Judge the football game for the 4 quarters that it is.
Right. You have to judge the entire game, because you can't just say, hey, they went out to this massive lead, and it wasn't Alabama up 17.
Yeah, that's how dumb it is to say, well, they were up 17.
Right. Texas did the same thing against Mississippi State, coming back from a big one and then winning at OT.
Yeah, and then Texas, they went on the wire with Kentucky and Mississippi State, like you're saying. It's like, well, if that's a factor, then we should put that in also.
If with the depth of the SEC conference, because I do think it is the deepest conference this year, now at the end of the year, you look at Vanderbilt's resume. They beat one top half SEC team, only one team in the top 8. And it was Mizzou with Zollers, a third-string quarterback. Everybody else, when they had their shot against Bama and Texas, they lost.
Right.
So if you're sitting there looking at all the SEC teams, because how many are in there right now?
4?
Is it
Alabama,
is it 4?
Georgia,
Ole Miss,
Ole Miss.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, 4.
4.
Alabama, yeah. So you got 4 teams in there.
Couldn't that same logic be said about A&M?
Yeah, but
A&M
A&M has one loss.
For
So
sure.
when we're sitting there picking the game last week, and you're kind of looking at who A&M's faced, all their wins have been against bottom half teams. They're finally playing a top half team in the SEC, but A&M was undefeated.
Yeah.
Now it's like you have the entire resume of Vanderbilt, and if you're putting it against Miami, Notre Dame, and then Texas is in the conversation, if you just look at Vanderbilt as a whole, as a 10-2 team, because I think it sucks. A 10-2 SEC team is going to be on the outside. They're going to get screwed. They're not going to get in the college football playoff. But if you do look at their resume as a whole, they beat one top half SEC team, and it was Missouri, and it was with Zollers as a third string.
See, you're never gonna sell me on the fact that going to Neyland Stadium and beating Tennessee last week is not a top half SEC win. That's a big time win.
Tennessee,
And also,
they ended up
all
in the
the
bottom
logic-
half. That's just
Will and I are arguing the same points a different way. The same way you were saying you could misconstrue everything the guy said to put Texas at 7. You're saying look at their wins. They only had one top 25 win, and it was Missouri, blah blah blah, or one top 10 win.
no, not yeah.
But
I see what you're saying.
if
Not like one top 10.
I'm looking at the schedule of where do we sit in week 1, where we had South Carolina, Missouri, all these other teams were sitting in top 15 or above, top 20 and above. And they played those teams when they were ranked in that position, because at the time, the whole world viewed them as that way. I personally think there needs to be more weight put on that. Like, you look at a South Carolina win now, no disrespect, JP, but it doesn't hold a whole lot of weight. Back then when they played, it was a massive
This
game.
is like the
It was
Oregon Penn State
11
thing,
South
yeah.
Carolina versus Vanderbilt, their first true test. Are they really going to get it done? Are they really contenders in the SEC? They won that game. Everyone's like, holy shit, Vanderbilt, man. Look at them. Now, South Carolina had the things that happened to them. Injuries happened throughout the season, the running back from Louisville. But I look at how did everything start? How did everybody kind of view these teams from a top 25 standpoint, and when they played? When they played, did they have a number next to their name? If they did, that counts for something.
Extremely holistically, I've always been a huge proponent of what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
of defining the value of a game and a win or loss at the time it happens.
Absolutely, because if injury, go ahead. Sorry,
But
I
also,
interrupted you.
how do I not know that the Vandy result started the precipitous decline of South Carolina's season? Like, I can't prove that, but you can't prove it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm being punished. My strength of schedule could be getting punished because I beat teams.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Oregon. Oregon goes and beats Penn State. Penn State falls off a cliff. Well, Penn State's not falling off a cliff if the Oregon loss doesn't happen.
They still have a top 25 roster.
Yes. So it's evidenced of how they played against Indiana. But Oregon's getting punished because of what they did to Penn State.
Right.
So, like, with exceptions, I'm always going to say there are exceptions to this rule. With a few exceptions, I've always been a fan of defining that. And that does mean that you may play South Carolina in week 4, and I may play them in week 11, and we both beat them by the same score, but you get more credit for it than I do. That may mean that.
I think that's okay.
It could mean that.
Right, because things happen, things take place, and that's what makes football so amazing.
Right.
The thing that starts in week 1 is never the same in week 14. That's what makes it awesome.
I think we solved everything.
I don't think we solved shit.
Yeah,
don't
we're
think
just
we solved
talking in
nothing.
circles.
Talking in circles, and I know we're going to get to this game, the last
It's
thing.
going to be nuts. We get the 2G5 scenario in.
I kind of hope it happens
A couple
now.
of 17-plus point
Just
dogs.
so we can all be mad.
Yeah.
I
At the
kinda
end of the
just
day,
wanna
we're
be-
just
I wanna be mad about
we're just
something.
angry that these teams were arguing for. Like, just handle your business.
Right.
When,
Yes.
when you're expected to handle your business.
Because if this happens, we have the G5 teams in, and the option for us to fly, even with Josh, and go to Oregon versus some G5 team just to watch Oregon mop them, I'm going to be sitting in our room being like, guys, we got to go to Oregon to watch this bloodbath. Get with the Atlantic, have a little good time, and just sip some wine.
Probably in the
just
second half,
bump 'em up. Yeah. Probably leave, at halftime. But that was great. Great playoff game.
You're really trending right now towards having 2 first-round games. Really, if you think about it,
Yeah.
look at all the projections. You got like Notre Dame, Texas A&M. You got Oklahoma, Bama, and then you've got 2 games where the spread will be close to 3 touchdowns, which is insane.
Yeah. SMU Penn State from last year.
With
Last
teams
thing,
at home
Last thing
pissed.
before we get into this board, then we'll go quickly. But Penn State coaching search.
Buddy,
Am I still waiting on a call?
buddy.
Hey, and congrats to BYU.
I know. It's weird.
Keeping their boy there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's big for BYU.
That is big.
Keeping their guy in
Just
there.
from my understanding of the timeline and everything else, shout out Liam Bluntman. I was following him very closely.
Yeah,
with all
dude, he
this-
seemed
with
like he
all
had a
this
little, he was
information.
dialed in a little bit.
It seemed like it was right there. They were at the goal line with getting him to Penn State. And then BYU gets their boy. They push the team meeting. They're all at his house. They're all talking him into it. Money's coming elsewhere from these companies. What is it? Crumble
Yes, crumble cookies.
cookies.
Crumble cookies, crumble
Penn
Penn
State
State's
or
coaching
for
search.
BYU?
For BYU, like big dogs coming in the room with the blessing of the church. Coming in the room, throwing out massive contracts.
Just
massive
throws up
money.
with the blessing of the church.
Yeah, with the blessing of the church.
Crumble Cookies went more American Primeval on Penn State
Yeah.
than American Primeval itself.
Well,
Than
wonder what
literal
happens
Brigham
to
Young
Crumble
did.
Cookie stock after that. If you watch American Primeval and then you look at Crumble Cookies, you're gonna be like,
That's like the modern day version.
yeah,
It's the modern
that's
day
exactly.
version.
They're scalped. They scalped Penn State.
Spoiler alert, but yeah,
Yeah.
Do you have any clue what's going on with Penn State?
they don't. How could I? They don't. I've spoken my piece on Matt Campbell. Apparently, they're not targeting him, but then again, they don't know who they are targeting.
It was Brian Hartline at one point in time.
but
Which,
he-
by the
well,
way,
from the
that would've
public,
been
maybe
that
not
would have
from
been the
internal.
move. That would have been the
Oh, he's
move.
at UCF now.
it's a real dereliction of duty, I think, by the athletic director up there. I don't know if he's going to have his job much longer. And you guys have never heard me call for someone's job because I don't really do that. But I don't know how. Like, this is it's not an elite job. It's not Michigan. It's not Ohio State. It's not Oregon. But dude, this is still the Penn State job. You can't convince me that this thing's been turned down this much just because the job's not good. It's because of who's running the coaching search. And if you can't run a successful football coaching search, number one, you don't deserve your job as an AD. Number two, don't fire your playoff caliber coach before you have a pretty good idea of who you could go get to replace him.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yeah, keep your phone close. The call could come. You've got experience in the Big Ten.
I do.
You know-
I would.
you
I
know
would
several
hang up
coaches?
on them immediately.
Yeah.
I know way I'll be a Nittany Lion.
Oh,
Not
so
after
you're
what
out.
they did to my boy Mitch. No,
But you're out.
I'm out. No amount of money.
And that story hasn't been told publicly.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't
breaking
heard
news. I have
anything.
declined the Penn State job.
I haven't heard anything from my sources of what's going on or if my source even has a job anymore.
Yeah, hey, but low key though, Mitch, fuck your source. Right?
Hey, is everything good up north?
I
Everything
don't
good
know.
in Michigan?
I really don't know. At this point, me saying anything would just be feeding into Twitter sphere.
There you
There's
go.
allegations. There's allegedlys. A lot of allegedlys being thrown around in the Michigan world right now. It's more exciting to look at and just if I separate myself from being an alumni, someone that played there, and I can just sit back and kind of watch the chaos in the shoes that you kind of do, that's where I find more enjoyment. If I go, I'm like, this does not seem, it seems more scary than anything else.
Yeah.
Scary world.
We'll see. We are also brought to you by Form Energy. Form Energy delivers best-in-class taste with natural flavors and zero sugar. Form Energy has natural caffeine derived from green tea and comes in a variety of flavors like Screamin' Freedom, Grape Smash, Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and is perfect for those who put in the work. If you're somebody who wakes up early in the morning, gets a workout in, full day's worth of work, and then come back home and still give it your all, you are a Form Energy guy. Form Energy, we do the work. Back to this episode. We'll see what happens.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's dive in. North Texas, Tulane. Big time matchup. Winners going to the college football playoff.
Oh,
Tulane, underdogs. North Texas favored by 2.5. The over-under on this game, 66.5 points.
Both coaches
Go
are
ahead,
gone.
Will.
Both coaches are gone, by the way. I mean, they're leaving. They're coaching the game. Both coaches have taken new jobs.
good.
So who's bought in more?
I'll tell you what, when I went after the G5 thing, I had 2 text messages about it from people that went to G5 schools. Cody January and Sean January. Both went to high school with them. They went to North Texas.
Januaries.
January's, the January brothers. By the way, Sean January back in the day, that 2006 state championship team from Catch Shadows, over 100 tackles, middle linebacker. Just a salty white boy. Paper bones, though. Could never stay healthy. Anyway, they text me and they're like, how could you come at our team like that? And I said, hey, brother, this is just the reality. So for that reason, I'll be taking North Texas because
Wow.
it just seems like they got more heart. I got more hate from them, so I'll take them. Because to be honest, I don't give a shit about this game. I will not turn this game on. I don't know what the viewership.
I'll check on it.
I probably won't even type in my Safari bar North Texas versus Tulane to see the score pop up.
Wow.
I'll find out on the show next week.
You could
I'll
easily
find out on the show on Sunday when I see Selection Sunday and I'll be like, oh shit.
Oh, they won.
North Texas won. Oh,
Oh,
shit,
wow.
Tulane won. That is how my life in this game is going to go. 66, take the over? Yeah, fuck it, dude, I'll take the over.
Yeah.
These guys got bad defenses?
That's the strategy. That's the strategy.
66 and a half? Yeah, I'll take the whispers.
Great
I got whispers
offenses.
over here, take the over. Give me the over. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to get on the show, the hard-hitting facts.
By the
I
way,
don't fucking care about this game at all.
So it doesn't leave us. I know Clump was excited about this. He when he posted the games, he's like, we finally get to talk about Drew Mestamaker. He's
Better than
got-
Zollers.
Yeah, better than Zollers.
You know, Will didn't care too much about it because he's looking at his phone about it.
3,800 yards,
He would've
29
digested the
touchdowns,
information
4
first.
interceptions.
Never started a game at quarterback in high school. Just
Oh,
so you
yeah.
know.
Yeah. I remember that dude.
He was not a starting quarterback on his high school football team.
Yep.
And now he is one of.
And now he's a freshman starting quarterback for North Texas.
Yep.
He's a redshirt freshman. Yes.
That's amazing.
I
Good
think
for
he
him.
played
That's
in their bowl
crazy.
game last year. I think is how that worked. Because Kublik
That's
had the game.
G5,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. I remember this.
What'd you
That's
say?
G5, baby.
What
I didn't
did you
listen to
say?
anything. I
What
saw a
did
group
you
text
say?
from Dan
So,
Orlovsky, and I
So Drew
responded to it.
Mestamaker didn't play quarterback at all in high school. He was a backup, and now he's a starting quarterback, a redshirt freshman. He's a freshman for North Texas. And so I'm saying that's G5, baby. He's been slinging the rock. I'm saying good for him. That's pretty crazy. He didn't play quarterback in high school.
didn't
Like, he
play
wasn't
quarterback
the
in high
starting
school.
quarterback.
Shows up to North Texas, and they're like, "Hey,
Redshirt for a year.
we don't. This is Chad Powers. We don't got a quarterback. We need a guy." And he's just like, "I can throw it a little bit." Like you. He is Chad Powers. This guy is Chad Powers.
All this is telling me is I could have played quarterback at a group Power 5 or group of 5 school.
You know what your
Oh,
problem
yeah,
is,
man.
Mitch?
Keep talking to him.
You matured too late.
Wow.
I feel it. No, and that's not even like if you
He
had
missed the
you
money
at-
window.
If you were you now at like 17, 18, buddy, you're G5.
Yeah,
You're G5 and you're mad at me watching the locker room and be like, this motherfucker don't respect us.
100%.
And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. In
would
this
be right.
figurative, imaginative thought process, you are correct. I
Give
don't
me the
respect you.
over. Give me the over. I won't go to Safari to type in the search bar. I'll just click on the ESPN app and just see what the scores are for the games.
And if I even see Tulane, I'll go
Taylor on the search.
on ESPN. That's what I do too.
Safari.
I have the ESPN
North
app too. And
Texas.
Top 25 only.
yeah, I just go to
Texas
Safari. I'm
versus
like,
Tulane.
Alabama, Georgia. Oh shit!
Just like,
Shit,
oh,
turn
hang
that
on, 2025.
That's happened so many times to me. Dude, me and technology, huh?
Break this one down for us, brother.
Don't break it down.
I really did pull in
I'd
this
rather
morning.
spend more time talking about the Penn State coaching search.
Yeah, we're good. So this is going to be really quick. Time me 20 seconds. I pulled in this morning and thought to myself, both coaches are on the way out. I think that disproportionately impacts defensive staffs. And therefore, I don't think there's a total high enough where I wouldn't take the over. And I did not know that you guys were going with the over, but I will take the over with you. So it's an over train. I have a live show Friday night in the middle of this game. There's zero chance I can watch it either. So I'll just get halftime
If you didn't have a
updates.
lot, you would watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
you would.
check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You check it
21
out.
seconds.
So that went over. Therefore, the total goes over.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of driving into places, thoughts and prayers with Kathleen. Onward.
Duke, Virginia. Virginia favored in this game by 3.5 points. There's Duke again, just keeping the line close like they have all year long.
All year.
The over-under on this game, 57.5. The ACC championship.
Which we've already talked about that.
Power 4.
Not power 4. It's a power 3, and they're kind of puttering in the distance.
Power 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know this game happened. This game was a blowout already.
weeks ago.
Like a few weeks ago, Virginia played Duke. Virginia lost the turnover battle and still blew them out.
Yeah.
The fact that this number is what it is blows my mind. Then I pull up the model the other day, and the model has Duke winning the game outright. And for the
model loves
life of me,
chaos.
like I don't
The
get
model
it.
loves chaos.
I don't know. But I'm taking Duke to win the game. So the ACC doomsday scenario, not only is it me sort of wish casting, the model backs me up on this. It has Duke winning outright. Is it 3.5?
Yes, 3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking money line. I'm taking Duke. Give me the
Taking
points.
money line.
I'm
Yeah,
taking
take the
Duke.
points, take the points,
Duke
take
plus
the
the points, but I will take Duke to win the game outright as well.
I have
I'll do money line. Give me Duke money line.
on this show. I've brought up Duke on 2 separate occasions. They were favored against Illinois and one other time I took Illinois as my dog in Georgia Tech. I was right both of those times betting against Duke. This is my first time betting for Duke. I'm taking Duke plus the points. I'll be sprinkling that money line though, but for the sake of the show
Yep.
and my standings and me being scared, I'll just take Duke plus 3.5. Hey, hard hitting shit on those first 2 games, boys, huh?
Hard
I
to
don't
beat
know.
a team twice.
Hard to beat a team
Hard
twice.
to beat a team twice.
Michelob Ultra, right? Superior's worth playing for. We've been doing this rock paper scissors thing. It started to be fun. Now it's getting serious. What's the record right now, Mitch or Clump? Is it 8-7? I'm leading 8-7. So this is an opportunity for me to get up 2, or will they even us out? Are you prepared?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Superior's worth playing for.
Hey, good game.
Hey, good game.
Good game.
Yep. Whoo, back to the episode. Next game, American Primeval. BYU kept their coach versus Texas Tech, who want Josh Pate to be the commissioner of college football. Texas Tech favored by 112, according to my sheet. Do you guys have the same thing?
What?
Oh, it probably means 12.5. Yeah.
No way.
it's
I
12
think
and a
they're
half.
favored by 112, according to the sheet.
So Texas Tech favored by 12.5.
Total
The
points
odds
in
on
that
that
game.
minus 112.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, 12.5.
Got you,
BYU's
got you.
got the plus one.
Got you. And then the total points in that game was 49.5. American Primeval, it always comes back to that. This team has been on our show more than I think any of us expected. it to be
We
at the end of the
are
year.
a BYU show.
We have become a BYU show. Now, I'm not going as far as Crumble Cookie.
Yeah. We grossly mischaracterize everything about the program, everything about the culture, everything about the church. But we are.
Yeah.
We
have
are
done
BYU
nothing
show.
but
The blessing
nasty
of the
work.
church.
Nasty work on that. And I'm going to continue to do it. Joey McGuire, that high-flying offense, that incredible defense. What is it, Rodriguez, the linebacker?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Threw a pick last week.
Probably why he's out of the Heisman race.
Yeah.
I'm going to take I'll take them minus 12.5. This is going to be a 3-touchdown blowout win. This is the before, like when I was at Michigan the first couple of years with Rich Rodriguez. Every Friday night we do our team meetings. We have our meal. We have clam chowder that had this historic, like famous clam chowder that all the players would come back to get. You can only get it when you're a player at the Campus Inn. Then after that, we would sit and watch a movie. It'd be Gladiator, Friday Night Lights, those types of things. Before this game, Texas Tech is playing the entire series of American Primeval, and they win this game by 28 points.
Or they're terrified and no, they don't even show up.
2 options. I'm going to take the one where they bow up. Fight or flight.
BYU got a better shot this time around. Could we see some more chaos?
Model loves Brigham Young. I have no idea why.
Where's the model at on BYU?
It has Texas Tech winning by 8. Like it thinks it's a huge cover probability edge for Brigham Young.
This is one that you look at and you're like, oh, I'd bet this game.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't agree with the model. That means I just don't bet it.
Okay.
A swing like that, that's like Ramen Noodle Express.
Yeah, it would be. How do you flip? So Brigham Young's got to flip something that happened the first time around. They had 60 rushing yards total first time around. They were minus 3 turnovers. Brigham Young's got to run the ball. They got to win turnover battle. That's how they've done it all year. I do think they're playing their best ball. Like I really, really respect what they did to Utah, but what they did to Cincinnati was more impressive. What they did to TCU at home to me was more impressive.
And they just got incredible news. You
They
see
sure
the team's
did.
reaction when their coach is staying.
So you got to ride that revenge wave. You got to ride the our coach is staying wave.
Boys, we win, we're in.
And you can't. So these are the paper poppers. Texas Tech in the first half, their top 3 points per game first half, top 2 pass yards per game first half, number 1 in explosive passes in the first half. They did that against them last time too. But the thing about it is, for everyone who tries to find a way for Brigham Young to win this game, like, oh man, if they just even up the turnover battle, Texas Tech settled for 5 field goals in this thing too. 3 of them were inside the red zone. So I look at 29-7 the first time around. I was at that game, just not a close game, not really a competitive game. But I was thinking to myself, leaving, this actually could have been so much worse. So for every progression to the mean that you expect from Brigham Young, there's also still a little catapult opportunity for Texas Tech to play their best ball. They didn't even play their best ball that day. I don't know what the model's seeing, so I'm going to take Texas Tech. I'll actually lay the points.
With the blessing of the church, I'm going to go BYU plus
Wow,
12.5.
really?
Wow.
Yes.
He hasn't seen American Primeval.
No, he hasn't.
No.
I
Still in the
haven't.
queue.
I haven't seen Animal House either.
That, by the way,
Tomato,
was a
tomato.
serious problem. For the whole entire thing we
It
shot.
has become a very serious issue.
Yeah. We did a thing. Are we allowed to say what it was?
FanDuel,
We shot a FanDuel commercial.
They're updating the commercial with FanDuel. We got to do some
Yeah.
fun stuff yesterday in the shop, production, set up everything. And
Yeah.
here it always comes back to
Right.
Animal
And we were
House.
doing a bit, and Will had to wear a shirt that said college football, right? Or playoff football,
Yeah.
something like that. And it was a scene from Bluto
Yeah.
in Animal House of him trying to charge up the boys to take down the school after they get expelled.
Mm-hmm.
And the director's trying to explain to him, and I got to stop the director. I'm like, hey, Will, do you know what he's trying to reference right now? And he just has the same look he has on his face right here. But his mouth was just a
And he
little
goes-
bit more.
He says, yeah.
You know what that shirt represents? And,
And
I
he
was
goes-
like, Penn State?
And I go, guys, he hasn't seen Animal House. The whole production crew stops in their tracks, mouths wide open. The director goes and types in YouTube the scene so Will can watch it to get some sort of inspiration to understand kind of what we're doing for this commercial.
Producer goes, have you looked at the script at all? I was like, no. He's like, all right, this shouldn't be too bad. And then they explain the whole the Bluto Animal House, the scene of everything, and I'm kind of just standing there.
Yeah, was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? That scene right there.
And I kind of just looked and go, yeah, I got you.
That's good.
Taylor goes, the joke about that is X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, the joke about Japan bombed Pearl Harbor was the joke. So they said
And I'm kind of
Germans.
just standing there. Oh, yeah, so this ain't Penn State?
Yeah, so we have to sit there through a 6-minute YouTube video of all of us kind of just waiting and looking at our phones awkwardly while Will watches a YouTube video for him to get the premise of what this commercial is going to be. And then, hey, you fucking killed. You
boy.
killed
You
it
did
after
great
that,
too.
dude. I thought you were phenomenal. You see, he had to be Bluto, and that was a lot of dialogue for him.
Can I be honest?
Go ahead.
I have absolutely no clue what we were
Are
talking
you?
about.
You've
I have
never seen?
absolutely no idea where
Have
we
you seen
were.
Animal House?
I've seen it. I have no idea where we were before that came up. I've
Something
seen
about
it.
with the blessing of the church, I'm going BYU plus 12.5.
Yeah. The house is in Eugene.
I got a thing. Yeah.
It's in Eugene.
Oh, tell him about that, Will.
That's what I'm saying. It always comes back to Animal House. We're out there in Oregon, and Taylor's like, "Oh, this is the place. This is where we shot." And he's like, "Will, do you know what we're talking about?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Animal House."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this scene was here." Will, do you know what I'm talking about? No. Animal.
Well, I made JP, and Garrett. We had maybe the best walk of all time, huh? Like guiding around those trees, that was incredible. We're going this walk. Will meets up with us, and I essentially make all of us walk to this area where a scene was shot in Animal House on the steps. And I go, "Hey, boys, look at it." Garrett's in awe. He's obviously in the movie. JP's in awe. We're just like,
They're taking photos.
"Yo, this is awesome." And I'm like, "Will, you get it?" He's like,
Where are we at?
"No."
We
No.
meet somebody?
It's like taking someone to the it's like taking someone to the Grand Canyon and them just being like, "Oh, it's a hole," and you're like, "All right, it's supposed to be beautiful."
Is
but
this the
whatever, dude."
business school?
Right. Yeah. And obviously the fraternity. They,
But no clue where we were before that.
You had no
What's-
idea how we got there either.
What's the chaos that would happen if BYU were to win this game?
Oh, don't say that. It'd be bad. This is Notre Dame's worst nightmare.
Pretty much everybody in the bubble area. Yeah?
Like, I know we talked about Miami, Notre Dame earlier today, but even if Miami doesn't jump Notre Dame, we are sitting less than 24 hours removed from the committee bumping Alabama up above Notre Dame. To me, that signifies Bama's not dropping no matter what happens Saturday, nor should they. So Notre Dame's sitting there at number 10. If Brigham Young loses, like they're allegedly supposed to do, and Miami doesn't jump Notre Dame, like Notre Dame's good, they're in. But if Brigham Young wins, they're not taking Texas Tech out. So 2 G5s and 2 Big 12s would be in at that point. Well, the 2 G5s is contingent on the ACC doomsday. Don't concern yourself with the G5. The point is, if Brigham Young wins this thing, you got to find spots that you didn't think you needed to find, and then you look at who's number 10 right now, because that's the cut line, and it's Notre Dame, and they probably drop out. Like, this thing comes down to, in that scenario, Brigham Young, Notre Dame. It's not Brigham Young, Alabama. It never was going to be. It's Brigham Young, Notre Dame.
I have enough respect for the Big 12 this year that I wouldn't see it as we got 2 G5 and 2 Big 12.
You would see it as 2 G5, Texas Tech, and a Big 12 is probably what you would see.
Yeah.
That's what I would see.
Yeah.
Texas
It
Tech's like
wouldn't
an
be
independent.
If we're sitting there again, the ACC, they gotta just cut the cord, man.
Wow. So you
This
just
year.
don't want them
This
to
year.
exist.
This year.
Just float off into the Atlantic.
not don't exist. But again, it's like this conference. And you compare them against who you would relate them to is the Big 12. Again, Big 12 is 6-1 against the ACC this year. So ACC is closer to the G5 than they are the Big 12 in my
You're not wrong about that.
In my humble
You're not
opinion.
wrong about that.
No. And we all know about my respect level for the G5. So, and I agree with you on the ACC comment. So they're not far off.
yeah.
And my respect meter, if that means anything to the Atlantic Coast Conference. Next game, number 3 Georgia versus number 9 Alabama. SEC championship, real football.
Yeah.
Real football.
We think so.
Do we get to talk about?
I don't know if we
get to
can talk
the
about it.
news?
Hold on, let me just real quick. Georgia's favored by 2.5. Total points that game is 47.5. Go ahead and ask that question again.
Do we get to talk about what we potentially
What we are doing.
What we are doing for this game? And I'm gonna we're gonna default to the QB.
Should I just call the individual that could give me the answer right now?
We interrupt this episode to talk to you guys about the Bussin With The Boys Profit Boost Token. If you don't already know, the boys have a Profit Boost Token available every college football Saturday. That's a profit boost on any college football Saturday bet. Just open up the FanDuel Sportsbook app this Saturday and look out for the Bussin With The Boys Profit Boost Token. Yeah, look, we teased it. If we have to edit it out, we'll edit it out. But the boys, we get to cover an altcast for the SEC Championship this weekend on ESPN.
ESPN 2.
ESPN 2.
ESPN 2. Yep, it'll be us 3. Harry Douglas, teammate
Yeah.
of ours. Were you on the team with Harry
I was
Douglas?
not on the team with
Nope,
Harry
he got
Douglas.
his ass cut before then. But hey, hell of a teammate, hell of a lot of energy. Guy's incredible.
Yeah, just a wild straight, wasn't he? What were you guys teammates
Harry
for
and I
like
have,
3 years?
I like to think Harry and I have the relationship.
Okay.
He's gonna see that. He's gonna, oh, this motherfucker. You know, he's gonna laugh and giggle about that and have something for me during
Like
the.
he played like 9 or 10 years.
Oh, dude, he was a dog. Played at Atlanta for a very long time. Came over. Terry Robisky was in Atlanta. He became the OC for the Tennessee Titans, and he's like, I need my guy Harry Douglas, and brought him over. And legit, when I was saying on our call earlier, during offensive staff meetings and players, Harry Douglas and Terry Robisky would just be in the kitchen. Who's our OC and our wide receiver? They'd just be watching Get Up, or like Good Morning Football, and like joking about something. And they go, oh, we got it.
Yeah.
9
Can
and
I ask
7.
a question?
Go ahead.
Because this is really big news that you just dropped.
This is massive news.
You're telling me that while the main broadcast is going on ABC, we're going to have our own altcast broadcast where the 4 of us are on the field at the SEC championship game, calling the action between Georgia and Alabama, 2 teams that have won 10 out of the last 11 SEC championships, playoff spots on the line, SEC title on the line, first round bye on the line, and us with mics in our hands?
On the sideline,
That's
getting
happening.
to see the action, getting to feel the vibe.
Breaking down ball, seeing what's going on the sidelines, injuries, fights, arguments, the whole thing. We get to talk about it all on
And
ESPN
some
2.
play-by-play from our boy Josh Pate, the future commissioner of college football.
Oh, here we go.
Is this it?
Mike Foster, Taylor Lewan, how are you?
Tell them we're
I'm
live.
fantastic. Oh, hey, we are shooting the locker room right now. I have a mic on. We can cut it, but I'm with Will Compton and Josh Pate, and we just announced that we're doing the simulcast on ESPN 2. Is that okay? That's so exciting. You are. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. We can definitely say
We're
those
good to
things.
go.
We're good to go. We've gotten permission, and we haven't had to ask for forgiveness, so that's fantastic. All right, Foss, I'll talk to you later. Appreciate you. Bye. All right.
All right, yeah.
We're doing the thing. Who are we doing it with? ESPN 2. It'll be me and Will Compton, Josh Pate, and Harry Douglas. Will didn't play anything because Harry got cut.
Hey, that is huge.
It's massive.
Big deal.
I mean, boys, the fact that we get to be on the field, the SEC championship, that big of a game, like us, where it was kind of going, fan of college football. Who's the hater? Not fun on Twitter, not what? Yeah, the cat we had to delete.
Yeah.
He's gonna be punching air.
Yeah,
Do
he's
you think
watching.
he'll know?
I think he's
The
watching.
haters, oh, bro.
Do you think the guy who had to delete his own Twitter because of what you two did to him, he's going to find out, or he's just given up
I think
all
it's.
of football
I
altogether?
think it's really safe to say he's tuning into Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
I think it's really safe to say he's checking out the ABC feed.
I see him with basic cable, and I see him thumbing through old school with the clicker, and then it pops ESPN2, and it's your face, and it's both of you, like cut screen, 3 pieces, and the game's going on in the middle, and you two are talking, and he just sees it for a moment.
Yeah, he's Jesse.
And his heart rate goes to 120 just as quickly as you can.
He's Jesse, Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. He can't keep getting away with this. He
Yeah.
just screams at the air.
Yeah.
Hate it for him. Love it for us, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it for the audience. You want to tune in and watch watch us cover a game, the SEC championship, from a different perspective. Our very first time doing it. Who knows how it's going to go? I'm sure it'll be a little bumpy at times.
No doubt.
But this crew will figure it out.
Right.
We'll have fun. We'll embrace
Josh
it.
Pate calling the game.
Going to be great.
Are we going to wear
We're trying to figure out what the wardrobe's going to be. I asked that question in the production call. They're like, you can wear whatever you want.
Because my move's going to be probably the same jeans I'm wearing right now and a black t-shirt if we don't decide anything. But if we want to go Wranglers with some sort of SEC get up and a cowboy hat, which I know you hate hats.
Yeah. Well, the other thing to think about is it's in.
Josh's cowboy hat. I'm trying to picture.
It'd be awesome.
The other thing to think
I like to
about.
picture him with a flannel t-shirt too, buttoned down to here.
You can
But keep
picture
going.
me however you want.
I
Like I'm
will.
just
I
saying,
do in a lot of ways.
This is an indoors game, like we're indoors right now. It is early December. It is cold. You wear the t-shirt and you gotta.
Yeah. And buddy, is it not freezing in here? I got a hoodie on. I am
it is
so cold.
When we started doing the show in week 1 in late August, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was.
Right, exactly.
And now we're leaning forward.
I know. We should have a little fire next time. Can we build a fire?
Why not?
Yeah.
Call Mike. Call Mike.
Yeah,
Fox.
see if we can get a fire going.
Yeah, but let's pick this SEC championship and see where our bias lies.
Oh yeah. Let's pick the game.
Garrett, would you like to speak? Alabama's won one. What? Georgia's 1-7.
Kirby is 1-7.
Kirby is 1-7
Alabama.
against Alabama. 10 of the last 11 SC champions
And,
were
and will be 11 of the last 12.
because math, and
Math.
both these teams are in it.
Stats and info.
Fair enough.
Yeah, another big game for the Tide. Earned our spot here. It's a place we've been before, obviously, as you guys just said. My biggest thing with this weekend is that you guys are going to watch the Tide in the SEC, and I'm not. So that hurts. But I'm going to find my own way there.
We can't take
So
it.
I will see you guys there. Roll
So Garrett just took an opportunity to get on the mic to kind of be like, you guys aren't taking me.
yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Call my phone.
Do we take Garrett?
I think we got to see what we can do.
We got to
yes.
at least give him a
We-
ride
we
down
have
there.
to make that effort.
Give him a ride down
Absolutely
there
have
for
to make
sure.
that effort.
We talked
Absolutely
about
have
it
to make
yesterday. I
that
thought that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, but we got to have confirmation.
No doubt. And I'm bad about that.
Is Bama going to be able to pull off 2 in a row here on Georgia? In my
Hard to
opinion, like
do.
watching Bama, they went through a big time schedule. They've earned their right to be here. They're going to stay in the college football playoff unless in some world it's like 55-7, and they just get blown out. And then you kind of have to consider, hey, does Bama fall out of the playoff after that ass beating? I see them getting into the playoff about 99% of the time, but they've kind of like limped their way to this finish line. The way they've been winning their games, but they haven't been winning in a fashion to where you kind of see Ty Simpson.
It hasn't been this.
It's been high and tight, but again, the story with Ty Simpson is you're just barely missing on those deep balls. Is that going to continue? Are they going to beat Georgia for a second time in a row? Georgia team that's been playing spicy as of late, that's been putting the foot on the gas and looking like a team that's can be, in my opinion, the team that would compete with Ohio State for a national championship. Does Bama beat them twice? It's going to be hard to beat Georgia twice.
So progression, regression to the mean in a rematch matters a lot. Bama 13 of 19 on third down. First time they played in Athens. Georgia was like 2 of 8. Both of those teams are top 30 on third down just in general. Bama, huge edge that day. These are 2 huge, like premier coaching staffs. Bama, pretty huge edge that day. Georgia's pass rush did not get to Ty Simpson the entire night. 0 sacks. And not only that, didn't really even affect him all that much. Havoc rate been spiking for Georgia these last few weeks. Is that their Saturday? The 2 biggest game-breaking opportunities, one for both teams, is the wide receiver group. For Alabama, it's Jeremy Bernard, it's Isaiah Horton. At 17, Latsier Brooks has come on as of late. Ryan Williams has been a ghost and can't really get a straight answer about where he's been. The deep ball thing is huge. Like, they barely miss him. If they hit him, that fundamentally changes things for Alabama. They let Auburn break 2 huge explosive yards after catch plays on them last week. Zachariah Branch is more explosive than any player Auburn has. So that's where it could break for Georgia. I also remember Bama's secondary sort of throttling down Georgia a little bit. Georgia ran it for over 200, and I expect them to have a fair amount of success running the ball again, but Georgia's center is probably out for this game. Both teams badly banged up, but Georgia's center being out, how does it affect snaps? How does it affect run fits, flow in the run game, collapse in the pocket? Tim Keenan was injured and just coming back for this Georgia game the first time around, playing like a stud now. And so not only is he like a 2-gapper type, but he can also really collapse the pocket, gives him a decent interior pass rush against a redshirt freshman center. The injury situation is probably going to matter as much in this game as any championship game we see Saturday. I am fundamentally of the opinion that it's extremely hard to beat a team twice in the same year, especially when that team is staffed and personneled like Georgia's. The model likes Georgia. I have literally no lean in the game. So just because of the computer, I'll lean Georgia. It's 2.5, right? Is it still
Yes.
2.5? All right, I'll lay those points. No confidence in that pick, though. Going to be a great game.
Over under 47.5. Again, we're gonna be covering
We're
this
calling the
game.
game. I was having the same thought when he was breaking it down. I was like, do we even pick a team?
Ooh, do we want to do the Herb Street? Just
Do we want to stay completely biased in this entire thing?
Over 47.5. It's like when these two teams play.
Unbiased.
When these two teams play, I expect a physical football game for whatever reason. When these two uniforms are out there, it's going to be the SEC championship. I think it's going to be two physical teams going at it. I like the over in this game. If I had to pick and see how this game is going to unfold, I picture the state of Georgia, everybody at home just barking at the TV because Georgia's going to pull off a win.
I say the Georgia thing too. I'm going to take. You take the under. Or you take the over.
Over.
I'm going to take the over as well.
I would like to see excitement.
Everyone loves rooting for points in these games. Who wants something exciting, high flying? I see Alabama through the air, maybe making a couple of those connections that you're talking about that haven't happened as of recent. Georgia, on the other hand, I see them running the ball very effectively, especially going to Stockton, having an extra blocker in there, getting that done. Redshirt freshman center is a bit of alarming, but I like Georgia getting themselves in third and manageables. Overall, I see a lot of points having this game. I'm going to go the over as well.
all right.
Great breakdown, boys. Hey, it's going to be fun.
You think that was a great breakdown?
Just wait till Saturday.
Just wait until
ESPN
Saturday.
2.
ESPN2, you want to have fun with the boys.
Game of the week, True Classic Game of the Week.
Yeah, every Saturday's got games, but only one fits just right. This is True Classics Game of the Week, the Big Ten Championship.
We're going to have this episode to bring you True Classic, dude. You can find True Classic on Amazon and Costco, Sam's Club, and Target nationwide or online at trueclassic.com/Bussin. Listen, I wear the pants every single day. I got that Pima t-shirt on, grab the shoulders. Your boy, during gout, I haven't touched a weight in over a month. All right, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what the hell is this? I put the Pima t-shirt on, it grabs a little bit more. I'm like, hey, maybe it's not as bad as you think when the shirt's off. That's because of True Classic. Look good, feel good, play good.
Kurt Cignetti versus Ryan Day. Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State favored in this game by 4.5 points. The over-under on this game is 47.5. I feel like 4.5 is light.
It's very light. It's extremely impressive that on a neutral field, anyone can be within 5 points, just point spread wise, of Ohio State.
Yep.
But especially a non-traditional, non-top 10 recruiting type team like Indiana. Like that's such a monumental statement before the game kicks off. Ryan Day, best friend of yours now, shines in these moments. But so does Kurt Cignetti. We saw him go on the road to Oregon earlier this year. Like that game changed things in my mind. Because last year, Cignetti and Indiana went to Ohio State. They got blown out, and they went in the playoff, and they got beat by Notre Dame. And it kind of fulfilled a lot of the preconceived ideas that they're mainly a product of an inferior schedule, whatever. This year, they look way different to me. I think they're a legitimate top 5 team. But you don't have to wonder. They went to Oregon and owned Oregon, and then they've shined the rest of the way. So if they can control somewhat the explosivity of Ohio State's offense, they got a shot to win the game. They do have to have a little bit more balance. It'll easily be the most balanced offense, like the most toolboxy kind of offense that Ohio State's seen so far this year. That doesn't mean Ohio State's incapable of stopping them. It just means it's a different test for Ohio State. But so much can go right for them. They can control tempo. They can be converting third downs. They could be tilting field position in their favor. If you're just hitting Jeremiah Smith for 80, if you're hitting Carnell Tate for 68, it doesn't matter. Because those explosive, you could win time of possession 2-1. You could run twice as many plays as Ohio State. It doesn't matter. It just means they're scoring quick. So you got to control that to have a shot. It's a real big test of Will's game because both of them have looked pretty unstoppable. It's the beauty of Conference Championship Saturday. I just ride with Ohio State in these kind of moments until further notice, as we documented last Saturday morning. Very late in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to bring that up.
Yeah. I got to ride with Ohio State and lay the points.
I'm taking Ohio State minus 4.5 too. Dude, I think this defense is so good, and even if
They're all right.
even Indiana being able to move the ball, they'll be able to. I'm excited to watch Fernando Mendoza because he's kind of in a Heisman spotlight right here. Like right now, I feel like Diego Pavia, in my opinion, is the front runner, the guy who should be the Heisman winner this year. But Fernando Mendoza is going to be in a huge moment this weekend against the best defense in the country in Ohio State. I'm excited to see if they'll be able to turn 3 into 7 because I just believe in Ohio State's defense so much. They're savvy. Patricia, he's got all those guys, all these aliens playing with a higher IQ. They're very situationally aware. They're one of the best in the red zone at keeping teams out of the end zone. I think Ohio State has too much. I think they'll be able to score. They'll be able to get 7 compared to Indiana, who will be able to move the ball at times, but I think they'll have to settle for 3 a lot. So I'm taking Ohio State minus 4.5.
Not a lot of mobility in Fernando Mendoza's game.
Right.
Has to win it with his arm. He threw for 215 against Oregon, 233 against Iowa. I'm of the opinion he has to do better than that to beat Ohio State. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
And if he does, he probably wins the Heisman.
If he's throwing for 300 and gets 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, I think that would be enough.
I know who my Heisman winner is, and he's out of the playoffs.
Justice Haynes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
No, Diego Papa.
I was like,
That's my Heisman winner.
I was like, hang on,
Listen,
hang on,
the thing, Matt Patricia is the biggest game changer that Ohio State's had. Obviously, the D coordinator goes to Penn State. Bad move by him. Brian Hartline, he gets elevated as the OC. But the thing that makes Matt Patricia so difficult, he obviously has a lot of talent on the field. Every game, he has a Rolodex of different defenses and different coverages that he can give you that it's going to take Indiana a quarter, 2 quarters to really figure out what they're doing. And then by that time, it's halftime adjustments. So the thing you might have figured out, now Matt Patricia comes out in the second half with a completely different look and disguise of what's going on. So he has the ability to keep an offense in a blender for all 4 quarters. I had to lose a friend this weekend. I had to watch my team, who's won 4 in a row, get brutally demolished in a completely uncompetitive game. I had to watch a kid that we spent $10 million getting throw the ball 5 times in the first half. Would have been a different game if we maybe threw a little more. I don't know. I'm not here to say. But that defense is pretty impressive. Julian Sand, he's throwing routes on air, and it's not his fault. He's got the 2 best wide receivers in all of college football. Maybe Jeremiah Smith is the best player in all of college football. I spent all last year, after Michigan had the biggest upset in Columbus, winning 13-10. I spent every single game of the playoff saying this is when Ohio State falls. They're not going to get it. And they just went on a tear. And at this point, man, they're 16-0 since the last time they played Michigan and Columbus. I'll take Ohio State minus 4.5.
And not to mention, you got to see him in a little bit of adversity for a minute against Michigan.
Literally-
Julian Sand coming out that first series throwing a pick, throwing a bad pick, and then bouncing back.
Ohio State spent more time down in the Michigan-Ohio State game than they did the entire football season, which is just insane. I think they spent 1 minute being down the entire year before that Michigan game. Michigan drives the field, does really good running the ball, kicks 3. We get an interception on the first throw of the game. Ryan Day said it on our show, I'm thinking it. We're about to do this shit again. Hold them for 3. It's, after that, it's over.
Yeah. And again, just talking more about Coach Patricia. We played against a Matt Patricia defense where we've sat in there with Vrabel. We sat in there with any time you're listening to a coach speak from an offensive perspective going against a Matt Patricia defense, it's always they take away your best weapon, like your best tools. That's what they focus on defensively. Because to your point, Mendoza not being very mobile in the pocket, front seven's always going to think we have to stop the run in every game that happens.
Right.
So when you're able to dial things in on 3rd down and play with that level of IQ that Coach Patricia is going to have that defense ready for, that to me is where they're able to squeeze Indiana.
A lot of those conversations too that take place when you're playing against Matt Patricia when he was with the Patriots is, if you're in an offensive meeting, they're sitting there going, hey, this is kind of every defense that they've run this year. Based on our skill set, this is what we think we're going to have to run. But we won't know until the game starts of what they're coming out. After the first series, we can kind of make adjustments from there. But expect these 3 or 4 kind of defensive schemes that Matt Patricia has run in the past to kind of stop our bread and butter is what we're able to do. And that's where you put Indiana in a massive deficit because they have to wait till after the game starts to figure out what their game plan is. And that's what puts Ohio State at a
right.
massive
Like if
advantage.
somebody's highly targeted on 3rd down, you're going to assume Matt Patricia is going to take this away. So how are we going to win on the other side in this situation?
And then there's 4D chess where he doesn't take that away and he's messed up your entire game plan. So it's better just kind of a wait and see moment for them in Indianapolis, like, hey, we got to find out what they're doing and then adjust from there. And that takes a lot for Kirk Cinetti and his staff to kind of decipher and figure out from the get-go.
Yeah.
Ohio State, man, those sons of bitches. Good for them.
Is it though?
Dude, the only
Did you
thing
see
that's
his
changed
face?
for me is I truly respect Ryan Day.
You
at
lost
this
me
point.
as a friend and gained Ryan Day.
No,
Is that
we're
not
not
crazy?
friends.
You
We're not
said you
friends.
love that guy.
Nope.
It was Seabass in Dumb and Dumber. He walks up to your table, you threw the salt shaker at him, and then he called you out and he hawked on your burger and you caved. I watched it.
That's fucking bullshit, dude.
I watched
That's
it.
a bullshit
You saw the
comment.
clip?
No, here's what happened, dude. I said all these crazy things.
Yep.
And Ryan Day, who denied us, Ohio State denied us, what was it, Sunday? Sunday, yeah. There's no time for Ryan Day to make it on Bussin' With The Boys. Ryan Day also has issues with Pat McAfee, allegedly. Pat was very vocal about that. Ryan Day in the middle of the season goes on Pat McAfee's show. Why? Fucking victory laps. So what did he do? When I went to take a piss and Ryan Nolan came up and said, hey, Will, Ryan Day, 20 minutes at 11:30, can you do that? And Will goes, thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he's taking a victory lap. And so what am I going to do? Double down? Hey, you're still not a leader of men, even though you won a national championship and you just beat Michigan, who's beaten you 4 years in a row. I'm going to find something to pull out of the ether? No, dude. I hate Ohio State, but my God, he's proven me wrong in everything I've said. He was born on third base, but he's elevated his team. He
stole home.
He walked into Ann Arbor, Michigan, the bakehouse in front of 115,000 people and smiled as he walked down the tunnel and then beat our ass. So what can you say?
And then
Other than you got to win with humility and lose with humility. Hey, Coach Day, I said a lot of bad things about you. You shut my ass up. Congratulations.
When you guys were on the bus.
We're not friends though. Hold on, we're not friends.
Yeah, well, when you guys were on the bus.
Friend of the show.
No, friend of the show.
You are the show.
I don't have his number.
Yeah, wow. When you guys are on the bus, the viewers at home don't know that when you're constantly looking up, it's because you're looking at a monitor. They think you were just too scared to make eye contact with him. Some people were saying that in the comments.
So you're a comment reader.
Yes, I am.
I did not know that.
Fun
and I'm
online.
glad you made that clear. Because I'm looking up and his fucking smirk. Hey, Taylor, I appreciate you saying all of those things. And it's just like, you motherfucker. And he's got me, dude. I'm in the cave. I got my arms chained up and he's just got me. He's finally got me.
You already got blood
And
flowing
in
down your side. Yeah.
In every James Bond movie, he finds a way to get out. I'm defeated. You got my ass. Till next year.
He basically said, we're good, man. Threw a rag at you. Said,
Clean yourself up.
Yeah, clean yourself up.
I just got myself out of bed. Said, thank you, Mr. Day. Dr. Day. Good show.
Yeah.
Subscribe, please.
Yeah, tune in ESPN2 this Saturday.
Yeah,
Game
that's exciting. Way to turn it back to a positive.
Kickoff is at 3 p.m.
4
knows?
p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Eastern?
Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Come hang out with us. It's huge.
Massive. It's fun, too. Being a guy that's done this before, it's a lot of fun. It's very nervous in the beginning. But once you get into it, it's a lot of fun.
Born for
It's
it,
a good
though.
time. What's that?
Born for it. If we were calling Wimbledon, it would be nervous. This
Yeah.
is the SEC championship game.
This is you're our
This
quarterback.
is wheelhouse.
I can sit there. Hey, offensive line's doing pretty good. Back to you. Onward.
Yeah.
Talk ball. I want.
That Zechariah
wanna
Branch
hear
guy, he's
wanna
pretty
hear
good.
I want to hear the roll tides,
Yeah.
the barking, all of it.
Yeah.
We're going to get it.
Any final thoughts?
I'm ready to go. I'm freezing. I'm ready to go.
I know,
Yes.
gotta get him
Subscribe, leave comments. We love you. We appreciate you. Tune in Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central Time on ESPN2 for the Altcast with the boys and Harry Douglas. We will see you tomorrow morning. Clay Matthews, Delaney Walker, NFL Locker Room Show will be dropping there.
Absolutely.